States government because they were like, if you are a sport, you have to have trained medical professionals at ringside the entire time. And Vince McMahon is like, I don't want to fucking pay for these people. So, hey, guess what? It's not a sport. It's just entertainment. And then the government was like, oh, all right. Well, since you admitted it, you don't have to keep people safe. You just keep doing you. It's fine. So that is why throughout the 90s and the aughts and the teens, you never, like, all of the medical professionals, they're not there. They only show up in an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
That tracks.
Wild.
That absolutely tracks.
Yeah.
I miss the disses.
Vince McMahon is an absolute dumpster of a person.
Just terrible.
100%.
And absolute trash fire.
Oh, absolutely.
I will say Regina Scarlett modeled on Vince in terms of terribleness.
That makes so much sense. Alex, that context. That context. Thank you.
I interrupted Jen, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't. I was just going to trash talk the WW wrestling some more.
Please do.
Fair.
Always.
That's all. Don't mind
Vince
me.
McMahon is a bitch, and he had it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Always. Every single time.
Well, hey, hello, friends. Welcome. We are live from the apocalypse. If you've never joined us before, we are a not-for-profit TTRPG studio. We make actual play content in the forms of streams and podcasts and things like that to raise money for nonprofits and aid organizations and other good things like that. And we are currently raising money for Rainbow Railroad, which is a fantastic nonprofit with a very important and prescient mission currently, very appropriate for the times, sadly. Where they use money that they've received, funds to help queer people, particularly these days trans people, get to places where they will be safer if they are not currently, whether that be another country or another state or just a different region. They will do their best to help. And we are very happy and proud to be able to raise money for them. So we just ask that if you like what you see here, instead of doing the normal Twitch things, like giving us some money by way of Amazon, they'll keep most of it. So don't do that. Instead, just give your $5 or your $6 or whatever you would have given to us. There is no expectation. Directly to Rainbow Railroad instead. You will notice that the subscribe button is not there. There's a donate button instead. Please do that. And give your money to Rainbow Railroad. If you do that, the McElroy brothers will yell at us and interrupt it. I will hear it. I guess maybe I won't scream into the microphone tonight because I'm not running this game, and that might be, disruptive. But that's a thing. If you insist on subscribing, we cannot stop you. It is not a thing that you can turn off, especially if you have a Prime subscription included with your Amazon bullshit. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You can feel free to throw it our way if you want. Occasionally, Amazon does toss us a pittance. And it goes back into the channel. It goes back into supporting the channel. So you can do that if you want to.
Yeah, just fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude. Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for the big boy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. That's my
Thanks,
mom.
Thanks,
Will's mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks for donating to Rainbow Railroad. All right. If you want to subscribe, you can. There's a bit about Brendan Lee Mulligan killing dogs. You know it. You've probably been here before. There's an alert that'll trigger. That's most of the things and the stuff. I think so. There are channel points, there are emotes, there's all that good stuff. But tonight we are playing a game that is being run by Alex, and so I will turn it over to you.
Thanks, Will. Hey, I'm Alex. We're going to be running a 1920s Call of Cthulhu scenario. It doesn't get more basic than this for Call of Cthulhu, and I'm pretty excited. A return to form, if you will. So before we start and we introduce all of these awesome players, I do just want to say that Call of Cthulhu is one of those games where things are dark, and we explore some things that might get a little uncomfortable. So if you need to step away, please do. Your safety is our priority, and we want to make sure that you are okay. We will not be upset about it. So just feel free to do that. That being said, there are some content warnings I will just drop right now so that everyone can sort of know what to expect. We're going to have murder. We're going to have sacrifice. We're going to have ritual sacrifice. we're going to be exploring some themes of religion, specifically Christianity and pre-Christian religions in the British Isles. There may be death by falling. There may be wounds, and there may be rats. Just regular rats with regular rat faces.
I don't
Regular
fucking
faces?
believe you.
He has to
I
say-
don't
he has
fucking
to
believe you.
specify there's
Press
going to be
X to
rats,
doubt.
regular rat faces.
Like not like some person named Rat's
Nope.
face.
Nope. Just there may be rats with regular faces.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, the only
I
rat in
would
this
not
game is
lie.
named Alex.
I would not lie in the content warnings. There will be claustrophobia, perhaps, and hunting humans.
Oh,
Those may all come up, as well as just shame and feeling inadequate to your parents, powerlessness, these sorts of things. So anyway, those are the things that are just floating around in my brain right now. If any of that is uncomfortable, of course, take yourself away, be well, hydrate, and come back in, and hopefully we will all have a very fun time and survive the night. That being said, Will, can we introduce all of the awesome people that are here?
We sure can. Do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
I will go first.
All right.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'm the keeper of arcane lore. You can find me at Mightiest Finn on Twitter, as long as Twitter is a Twitter, and I post about my cute little dog who injured himself this week and was a drama queen, and I'm really not great about it. Otherwise, I will post about other games coming up and plug some stuff at the end. But Finn is fine, and he's still adorable.
Thank you for assuaging my fears.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Hi. My name is Candace. My pronouns are they, she. I am going to be playing Mariah Smoke, pronouns she, her. And I feel like there's more I'm supposed to tell you.
Oh.
I'm not good at intros.
Now, all that info comes at the end.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm JD, pronouns he, they, and I will be playing Xavier Blackwell, pronouns he, him.
That was so good. Like, that was the best one.
It was perfect.
Absolutely.
I tried.
You succeed. No trying. Hi, I'm Jen /Youngles. I'm playing Sally. That's who I'm playing today. Who is going to be uncovering mysteries. Maybe we'll see. Who else uses they, she pronouns? And I'm on Twitter and things. Okay, thanks.
10 out of 10 no notes. Hi, I'm Q. I'm going to be playing Ansel Farage. Pronouns he, him for both of us. Ansel's fine. Absolutely fine. Don't even worry about it. He's absolutely normal and not a walking ball of anxiety.
We're starting with a bone of mess. I love to see it.
Absolutely. Wanted to get one out of the way.
Hello, everybody. Hi, my name is Will. There's just a little. That's cool. Somebody just complimented the overlay. That's a fun thing. Hey, hi. I do a lot of things here live from the apocalypse. I'm one of the organizers and the storytellers, and you can catch me running stuff, playing and stuff most of the time. But I have a pretty good sized break coming up, by which I mean a little bit less than a week. And I'm going to be playing Ross Keating tonight, and apologies if anyone Irish is watching this, because I'm gonna do an accent, or I'm gonna try anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
We'd love to see it and hear it.
So good.
So apologies in advance for that, but that's most of the stuff and the things. Follow the channel if you're not already. There's a social media handle that'll go down here in a second if that's your thing. If not, that's fine. But I think that's it for me. Get into it.
All right. So, Call of Cthulhu is a D100 system. So, if you're not familiar with it, players will be rolling D100 and trying to roll under their skills. They have a sanity counter, which is basically their mental health, and that's the important one. And they have a health counter, and that's significantly less, and that's the less important one, because one hit will probably kill you anyway. So don't worry about it. Some special rules that I have are that in this game, a 69, nice, is a critical success. And we don't do random madness like rules as written. It's a little bit more of a keeper and player discussion about what's going to happen. So if you are a Call of Cthulhu purist, apologies in advance for what I'm about to do. So I think we will start. Our camera will open up on Bolingbroke University in Lincolnshire. It's about 3.5 hours by train from London as you head north. We are a week or so into the school year, the semester. It's September, but it's been a hot one. Much warmer than usual. The days are very warm. The nights do not abate much. And tensions on campus are a little high because it's been a week and 2 students have been murdered. The first one on the couple days before classes even started, and the second one just a week ago on the first day of class. Bolingbroke University is one of those little out-of-the-way gems, if you will. It's founded by Henry IV in the 15th century. It's been around for 400 years at this point. It's 1923. It's prestigious, it's powerful, it's elite, but it's one of those quiet prestige places, if that makes sense. You know, it's not an Oxford, it's not a Cambridge, but people who are powerful often come out of here, and it's one of those not talked about things. Bolingbroke University has a little college town attached to it, Bolingbroke, and our camera is actually going to focus in on the Silver Snare Jazz Club. And silver snare like a drum, not a trap. Not yet. The Silver Snare is a popular little spot with students. It's got booze, it's got music, it's got dancing, and we find 5 students among the crowd as we go in. You all arrived. It's a steamy, muggy night, and it's just getting even worse in the building. The ventilation is bad, so it's hot, it's muggy, it smells like perfume and sweat and stale beer, but there's a really good band playing, the drinks are cheap, and the dancing's good. There are a lot of really attractive people here who are ready to dance with abandon because the war's over. And it has been for some time, and you all will probably never have to deal with another one, right? War to end all wars. It happened. It's done. We're free and easy now. So, as the camera comes into the club, I think it's going to focus in first on, let's say Sally. Jen, what is Sally doing in the club right now? Could you describe your character? Give us a little brief overview.
Sally. Okay, so when you come into the camera comes into the club, pans all the way into the back corner, you see this stout little person kind of just like squatting in the corner on the floor, not even sitting on a bench because honestly, gross, who knows what's happening in here right now. And with a notebook, like this like very fancy notebook, much fancier than how they're dressed, and this kind of like very collared coat, kind of turtleneck sweater thing, which seems unreasonably too warm for the setting and with being too hot lately, but you know, some people are like that. So they're squatting here with their journal, just kind of like staring at everybody a little too much, like until they make eye contact, and then they would like look away and then like look to the next person, trying to see if they can get any dirt on anybody while they're all in this state of drunkenness, to use for later for my own personal gain. Sally has their hair just kind of like untidily thrown up, and they have very big rim glasses. that they are clearly not dressed for style in any capacity, and a juice box that they brought with them.
All right. So your friend Peggy also tagged along. Could you describe Peggy for us as well?
Peggy is the exact opposite of Sally. Peggy is not necessarily bigger than Sally in size, although that also is a factor. So Sally easily can hide behind Peggy when they do not want to be seen. But Peggy also is just bigger in personality, and so therefore is kind of like that one friend that kind of hangs around the quiet friend, just in case anybody picks on the quiet friend. That one friend like is looking for a fight, and so they hang around the kid purposely that gets picked on the most, type of deal. But Sally's cool with that relationship because they don't really want actual friends anyway, because that's just too much.
Yeah. Peggy's a champion.
Yeah, for sure.
Love it. Peggy at the moment is dancing, but it's one of those like she's just kind of moving her shoulders to the beat, like rooted in place, and she is just looking and making sure that no one is approaching Sally. And like at one point, one dude notices that you're just like staring him down, and he starts moving over, and Peggy just like grabs him by the shoulder and throws him back into the dance floor. He like looks at her funny, and she's like,
Every time Peggy successfully wards somebody from interacting with Sally, Sally pulls out a juice box from their messenger bag and throws it at Peggy.
she catches it every time. Drinks.
Yeah. I feel like
Hydration's
Peggy's
important.
family doesn't get her juice boxes.
Absolutely not. Peggy is a coal miner's daughter. So I will think the camera will then move away from Peggy and her dancing and Sally, and they're squatting in the corner. And we will move onto the dance floor. Is there anyone dancing right now that would like to describe themselves? I'm getting a lot of shaking heads from some of these individuals.
Mariah is on the dance floor.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Mariah Smoke is arguably overdressed. Looks like perhaps they had something to prove. They're wearing like a real glitzy, like the latest fashion situation, like this sort of flappery, long line, kind of shimmery deal with like little twinkles hanging off of it. Heels that are awkwardly a little too high. And I mean, at this time, it's like a kitten heel, but she's still teetering around in them. She's got kind of like a caramel, like a golden brown complexion. Her hair is kind of like a medium kind of kinky curl. And it's up in a style that is clearly very childish. It's like a two ponytail thing, and like the back is free. It's like a young person's understanding of what fancy would be, but she's wearing a dress that's clearly designed for someone who is like a fashionista, and would have a much better haircut. It looks like no expense has been spared or anything. She's got jewelry on, she's got earrings, she's got a tiny bit of makeup on her freckled face, and she's got a very kind of resting bitch face situation, but with kind of like bright eyes, like very bright, alert eyes that dart every which way, trying to see who's looking at her. And she isn't dancing like with anyone. Like she's like dancing like she's waiting for someone, like her arms are kind of out, like she's waiting for someone to come and dance with her. And if somebody approaches, she'll, go ahead. She has so many years of ballroom dancing classes.
Amazing. So I think the music fades down and the dancers, stop and everyone's clapping. And then the band takes up a song that you recognize intimately, because this song has been a part of your life for as long as you can remember. It is your
Ugh.
mother's signature song. And everyone just goes mad with it. Like, it's one of these slow ballads, but it's super romantic and super cheesy. And so people are just like falling into each other's arms to dance in this like very popular, even if it's a little old at this point, it's like, it's already in the canon. It's already just like classic. And you are left alone for a moment until your friend Stephanie shows up with drinks.
Yeah, that seemed like a really good time to have some punch. So that's exactly what Mariah was gonna do. Like look around like, ooh, I'm so thirsty. I am looking for some punch. Ooh. Stephanie, please, quick now.
Stephanie
Please.
arrives with the punch, and could you describe her quickly?
Yeah, Stephanie is she's also biracial. She has kind of like a bob kind of haircut, sort of plain, has a bang situation that's a little unfortunate, more like bowl cut than like bob, sort of. And she has kind of thick glasses that are very stylish. Like you can tell that she also probably has money. Not the cutest in the world, like kind of downplays her looks, very plain, but is eager and comes to Mariah's side like with, you know, these two nice glasses of punch. Um Probably a little taller cuz Mariah's probably like 5'3", 5'4", and I'd say that Stephanie is probably like 5'7". Um Dressed appropriately. Conservative even.
Stephanie, always ready for the moment.
Yeah.
She hands you the punch, has one herself, and kind of looking around. It's like, did you want to dance?
To this, Stephanie?
Oh, right. I'm so sorry.
Where were you 3 songs ago?
Well,
I was reeling by myself.
there was quite a line, and like she points over to the bar where there's now nothing, and she just like goes even more beet red or embarrassed, and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want should we? And she's just like frantically gesturing off the dance floor, like doesn't know what
Yes,
to do with herself.
please.
So she takes your hand and like walks you off the floor, and as that happens, the camera swoops over to the bar. Is there anyone sitting at the bar? Okay. Will, why don't you tell us about Ross?
Yeah, Ross is tall, and if Mariah is overdressed, then Ross is underdressed. I think he is wearing just like sort of a very simple button-down shirt, sleeves rolled up to under his elbows. Uh, you know, rough black-ish. Maybe they were black at one point. Pants, suspenders that are not on his shoulders at this moment. They're just kind of hanging off. And he has he is like tan from the sun, being outside doing work. It's definitely starting to fade, but I think he still has that weather beaten look more than anybody in the bar, probably. Kind of naturally curly black hair that is a little bit on the longer side. I think it's just sort of pulled back into a kind of a small ponytail at the back. At the moment, there are a few like strands that are hanging free in the front, and I think he has some freckles, most notably, across his face. But there's also some stubble and generally a pretty unfriendly demeanor. And I think he is just sort of leaning, hunched over a small glass of whiskey, occasionally sipping at it and not making eye contact with anyone.
All right. So the bartender walks past a few times, and you've noticed that he seems to be getting a little impatient, and there's a moment where you just feel his form right in front of you. Like you're looking down, but you know he's right there. And you hear him say, "You're gonna nurse that all night?"
There's something I can help you with.
Yeah. if you're not going to pay anymore, clear away for paying customers.
Am I not a paying customer? Did not buy a drink.
Listen, you bought a drink an hour ago. And it's this big. So finish it and order another and move on.
Ross maintains eye contact with the bartender, reaches down, picks up the glass, downs it, sets it down in front of the bartender and says, I think I'll have another.
Good man. And he fills it up all the way.
I'll take it back.
All right. And we will swoop back away from Ross. And what are our anxiety boys doing? One or both of them?
I don't have anxiety. Listen, I am fine. I am off in a hallway with Elias. That is what I am doing.
Oh, you being fast. Ooh.
All right. Well, let's swoop over to that hallway. And could you describe what we are seeing?
I would absolutely love to. So Xavier Blackwell is tall and slender. Not actually that tall. He's about 5'10". Very slender though.
Wow, I'm feeling attacked right now.
I am just playing my character type, as we must always. He has very dark, thick, tousled hair, which is extra messy in this moment, given what is going on in this hallway, and green eyes. His shirt is probably mostly unbuttoned at this point. It is a nice shirt made of quite nice fabric. There's also a vest that is completely unbuttoned and almost hanging off. And he is in the middle of making out with Elias.
And what does Elias look like, if you don't mind?
Elias is tall, muscular, and blonde and blue-eyed. He looks much less disheveled than Xavier does.
All right. Do you want to say anything in this moment, or are we good to simply let lips do what hands do when praying?
Exactly.
Very good.
Appreciate the Shakespeare reference.
You are welcome. Given your character type, it felt accurate. Or your character's life ambitions. So we linger on that for a tasteful moment. Nothing more. And then we find, what do we find, Q? And where do we find him?
All right. So is there like a outdoor like patio situation?
Oh no.
That's
No.
what I thought. That's what I thought.
No.
Okay. All right. So, oh no. So Ansel is straight up not having a great time. There are a lot of people. Everything smells stale and or sweaty, and he's fairly certain that his feet, if left too long, would stick to the floor.
But that is absolutely accurate.
Yeah. So I think he's found an opposite corner from Sally. It's just him, a beard that has been untouched this entire time, and a notebook. He'd been attempting to measure the he was trying to measure the sound, like the jazz as it was happening, sort of put the rhythm to math to distract himself, and then it went to something slow and sentimental, which he has no connection to whatsoever. So he is now just sort of idly scratching away at some equation, probably like going over the notes from the wall
Mhm.
that he'd been working on today.
So the lighting, not great. You're doing the best with what you have,
Mhm.
and it gets even worse when a shadow just sort of looms over you, and you hear a very, very posh voice say, "I'm sorry. What exactly are you doing there?"
Um, I do apologize. You stepped into my light. I do need that to see to continue my.
Oh, light. Mm.
Just
And there's like a lot of awkward British like hemming and hawing and just like scooching until the light is like just not being blocked.
Thank you. I do apologize.
Yes, of course. It's just I saw you sitting here and you look so lonely.
No, no, not lonely. I am. I am taking a friend's words to heart. I am to go outside and interact with other people at least once a week.
Oh, is it your nanny who told you that?
No, my sweet mate, my roommate
Oh,
at
oh,
university.
yes, right. My nanny told me much the same. And he extends his hand. Terrence.
There's a moment where Ansel will look at the hand because he's got to check before we shake.
Very, very dry, clean. Terrence himself, very tall, like kind of frizzy brown hair, like it's or must not very put together, but he himself is like very buttoned up, suit, vest, tie pin.
Yeah. And I think this is the first time that Ansel is actually seeing him this entire interaction. First, it was just a shadow.
Right.
Ansel himself is tall, though he very rarely stands up to his full height. He's got very well-maintained hair. He's wearing glasses. He's got a swimmer's build, but again, you couldn't tell based on how he generally carries himself. But also, suit, tie pin, like he's like he went from school to here. Like he didn't change into anything casual.
Nor
Or
did
this
Terrence.
is his casual, honestly.
Hmm.
So he will accept the handshake. Ansel Farage.
Terrence Southbridge. Pleasure to meet you.
Lots of bridges here.
Yes, well, water. Oh, that was dumb. I'm so sorry.
No, it was good. Oh.
And he gives you like this very awkward laugh. He's like, well, you seem to be well alcoholed. I would buy you a drink, but you seem to have one.
I've been here for an hour and a half. I thought that when I arrived.
It was probably no good now.
Probably.
Can I get you another?
Yes. Please.
Very
Thank
good. And he walks away, and I don't think you need to be a psychologist to read the body language of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's the, oh God, what have I done? Like, I just talked to a cute boy and now I'm freaking out.
Panic? Yeah.
And you see him just like walk past the bar and just out the door.
Oh, okay.
Just with like one last look back, and it's just a very like, I'm so sorry, I have to leave. Gone.
About halfway through Terrence walking away, I think Ansel would have also realized the moment. And so when he sees him continue past, he goes, no, that's probably fair. Just sort of in the expression. I think, however, Ansel is gonna get up because I think it's time to go. Maybe
You do
It's
feel
not.
it might be time to go. But at that moment, the band starts up a different song. And it washes over the crowd in this like you can see people reacting to the physicality of the sound. It's this very like experimental, non-melodic, like we don't really know what this is, but you just once it hits you, it hits something very deep in your brain that's like, oh, this is actually quite interesting. And all of you feel this, and you are the next thing you know, the 5 of you are standing in this club alone, except for the bartender and the band, who are just like packing up, getting ready to go. The bartender is giving you all looks like, listen, last call was half an hour ago.
You
Come on.
are a sick son of a.
Gonna kill that dog.
He's the bad guy.
What?
You.
All the bad guys.
Yeah, it's just like blink, and you've lost some amount of time.
Stephanie as well.
Stephanie is gone. Peggy is gone. Elias is gone.
What? You've seen a girl? She's always following me around. Have any of you seen a girl? She's supposed to be attending me, and I can't be seen alone. Excuse me. It's you. You live near me. You in the suspenders. Russell, I think, is your name.
Excuse
Will,
me.
you are muted.
It's fine. It's fine. All I said was sure in response to being called Russell.
Yes, Russell. Excuse me. The girl, you see her come to our apartments sometimes. And she's her name's Stephanie. You probably don't know that. She's difficult to remember.
I don't pay a lot of attention to who's coming and going from your place.
You don't? Oh, that's good to know. I don't want to, offend. Anyway, what I was saying was I am looking for her, and she seems to have vanished. One moment I am dancing the night away, and the next I'm just here with all of you. No offense.
Bartender, none taken.
Did you also feel the phenomenon?
What phenomenon?
The sensation when the last song happened.
That's called music, Ansel.
Phenomena.
No.
The last song isn't particularly impressive or special in any way, I can assure you.
No, he's right, though. It was strange. There's something wrong with it.
There was the romantic song, and then there was the experimental one that happened afterwards. It something like back here, and then I blinked, and then it was just the 5 of us, the band and the bartender.
Yeah, I was just having a drink over there, and next thing I knew, I was standing out here with you.
I was I confess I was just talking to Stephanie, and I didn't hear any of it. I'm sorry. No.
I think all of you at this point realize that your arms and legs are quite tired, sore even. Your feet hurt. Mariah, maybe, you realize, you've been dancing for a while. You know what it's like to feel exhausted after dancing for quite a long time.
It's only natural, darling.
Ross will go over to the bartender. sort of lean across the bar and say, "Well, we're just standing there."
You five?
Yeah, for the last hours.
Dancing like madmen and mad women and mad persons.
No, that I don't know.
I don't dance.
Yeah, Ansel doesn't dance.
I don't know how to dance.
You're all very good at it.
I mean, thank you.
Welcome.
That's not possible.
So we
The
just
dancing?
Why would we not remember it?
Right.
I would like you all to make me a sanity roll.
Cool.
God damn it.
Cool.
Right away.
Amazing.
You do something to my juice boxes.
Darts.
Yay. I did
Yeah,
what
How
you
do I
said.
roll a
fucking
sanity
rip it,
roll?
rip it,
Teach
baby.
me.
Slop that down, dude.
You're gonna roll
for that.
Yeah, dude.
Sanity.
Crack one for the
So
big
just
boy.
do 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, thank you for the donation.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yes.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I got a 60.
What's your sanity?
45.
Nice.
Oh no.
All right. So if you failed, you're going to take 2 points of sanity loss. If you
Cool.
succeeded, you will take 1.
Nice.
So that's the 9 that I have.
So you'll subtract 2 from the 45 total.
Oh,
And-
from the 45? Okay.
And we are building to 9 with you. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well,
Bartender's like, now, I've got quite a lot to do, so if you don't mind, like, gestures at the door.
I'm assuming the band is all packed up?
Mhm. Yeah.
Excuse me. The song you all played,
Which one?
the last one.
Oh, yes, Tears of the Rose. Very popular.
Tears of the Rose.
Classic. Yeah, you all know Tears of the Rose. It's another one of those, like, kind of corny, slow ballads.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely not the experimental music.
Not the one. What was the one after? It's the famous song by
Right.
the
Mariah, what's the name of your mom's most famous song? I'm putting you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Always another rainbow.
Ugh, gross.
Incredible.
Gross.
Incredible. I'm giving you a bonus die that you may use
Thank
at
you.
any point.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I need
Aw.
it. She's terrible.
She's terrible.
She's the worst, and I love her so much. The song, "Always Another Rainbow." What was the one you played after that?
I think that would. Oh, and he like goes over to the set list that he's got somewhere. He's like, the Silver Linings, which is another like, it's kind of a jazzy number. Absolutely not experimental.
No, that one's in 7/4.
Yes, correct.
The other one was it was. I'm confused and I'm upset, and I think my stomach. It just sort of stops for a second. There's a lot happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually look over at the table that I was sitting at and see if my notebook is still there or if it's on my person.
It's on your person.
Whew, okay, all right. Momentary panic. I think I need to step outside. I think that's what I need to do.
I'll go with you.
Don't we all need to step outside? He just said that he's done and they're closing up.
I think while Ansel was stepping over to talk to the band, Ross is kind of like leaning across the bar and like staring down the bartender and says, "You know, the only explanation that I can think of for losing time like that is if there's something wrong with the drinks."
How dare you?
I brought my own juice boxes.
Sally brings her own juice boxes. Everybody knows that.
All right, well, I don't know what a juice box is, but
It's a box filled with juice.
It's a box filled with juice.
Sally knows.
Or milk sometimes, but I don't like the milk ones.
Don't blame you.
They're not
Strange.
very good.
Suppose I could have
Yeah.
extrapolated that much myself.
Could have done that math.
Fine. Stare him down. Can I roll? What's wrong with this bartender? He seems weird.
So you could make a psychology roll if you would like.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything on the bar counter worth taking
No.
without anybody noticing?
What'd you get, Will?
I got a 20, but which is normally very good, but my psychology is 10.
Okay. So Ross glosses over the fact that he didn't even tip this bartender, which is why there's hostility.
Don't
So
do that
no,
where I come from.
so Sally, no, like the bartender has like cleaned everything down. There's nothing left. It's very clearly closing time.
Not even an ashtray? I can't just steal an ashtray?
You know, make me a luck roll.
Yes. How do I do that?
So you should have a luck value. It's just like
Okay.
another skill. You roll a D100, try and get under that.
Okay. I got a 58 and I have a 50.
There are no ashtrays. He's even taken those out. This is a very efficient bartender.
Wow. Good job. She just looks at him and doesn't explain. Like,
Thanks. Listen, I can't lock up till you leave. So
oh, right. We have to leave. Right. We have to do the leaving thing. Okay.
Mariah is already at the door. She's taken her heels off, and is kind of delicately stepping around anything that looks like it might be disgusting on the floor.
oh, there's lots of
The floor.
yeah, just the floor.
Yes, she's doing like a weird hoppy situation to avoid any.
Yeah.
Sally notices and diligently rips out 2 pieces of notebook paper and pulls out some tape and tries to hand them to you.
What is this?
Well, so you could take the paper and you could wrap this around your foot, and then you don't have to worry about stepping in the sticky.
Well, you could just continue to wear your shoes. He's just fully walking out.
Yeah.
Just fully
I
walking out.
think Xavier stops seeing this mess unfold and takes off his vest and just puts it down so Mariah can step on it.
Finally, a gentleman. Thank you so much. And she stands on the vest to tape the paper to her feet.
Incredible.
and then walks to the door.
This seems wholly inefficient.
And looks for their ride.
I think Ross will be the last one to leave the bar, and as he does so, he'll turn and look at the bartender one more time and like point at him and say, "I don't tip for English whiskey," and then walks out.
All right. So the door closes very fast behind you, and you hear it starting to lock. The main drag of Bolingbroke itself is like a cute little quaint English downtown, like, you know, little row houses and shops. Normally it's reasonably bustling, but it's closing time. You guys stayed out way past your collective bedtimes, I think. So there is no one out and about. The Silver Snare is directly across from the old church of Bolingbroke, which is one of those like big Gothic monstrosities. And there is a single light post that just sort of like illuminates the section of sidewalk right in front of the church doors. And you all come out into the night. It is still hot, still muggy, but it is stormy. Like, it is threatening rain. You can sort of feel it on your skin. And there are flashes of lightning that are randomly illuminating the area. But otherwise, the street is dark. There aren't any lighted buildings, except for the light coming out of the Silver Snare and the street post opposite you. There are no cars. Whoever was going to drive you, Mariah, they left without you. And there's just this moment where you're all sort of standing there, and it's very still. Almost, you've inhaled. There's that moment where you're waiting. And then you all hear a very loud thud. Like a melon popping. Bones crunching. And you notice that a body has fallen directly into the light post that is illuminated, the pool of light.
Mariah screams like it's her job.
I would like you all to make me a sanity roll because you saw that guy hit. And it was unpleasant.
15.
So close. I got a 49. I wanted to poke the body.
19.
Remember, you can use luck.
You can use luck.
Can I use luck?
Yep, so you can spend luck permanently. Permanently decrease your luck by 4 points, or however many you need to succeed, and then you would succeed. But you have that much less luck.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. There's giant thunder happening. Give me.
Just like in the game.
Yep, I got 34 out of 69. Nice.
Nice.
So we're good.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't process the luck thing.
Mhm.
I
So would you?
apologize.
It's all good. So would you like to spend the luck to succeed?
Yes,
Okay. So what
because
is
I
your?
want to poke the body.
Okay. What is your current sanity?
My current sanity is 43.
Okay. So you'll spend 6 luck points to succeed.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So if you failed, you are going to lose 4 points of sanity. If you succeed, you will lose 2.
Oh, I'm glad I
And-
did that then.
What do you all do in that moment? We'll do things in a sort of combat order. Not that it's combat. Don't worry. But who has the highest dexterity of the group?
Is that the first number?
I think it's strength dex.
It's strength condex.
Strength
No,
condex.
I mean like because I have 3 numbers in the
Oh, yeah.
dex.
Yes, the
Just
first
the
one.
first one.
60.
Yeah.
Okay.
50.
Also
I have
this
45.
70.
Okay, so Sally, you act first. What would you like to do?
I would like to poke the body, please.
Okay, so you run up to the body. It is a broken, mangled. What happens when a person falls from a great height. There's blood. Are you just literally poking the body? Because this person is very dead.
I think Sally would take a pencil out of their messenger bag and then just very slowly poke the body with the eraser side to see if it moves some more.
It does not.
Okay.
All right. Mariah, I think you're up next.
Mariah has not stopped screaming yet.
Okay. Great.
I think her voice finally like lets out. I succeeded, so I only took 2 points of sanity damage. So I feel like as she ends the scream, she looks around to see if anyone is looking at her while she's screaming and hearing the impact of her vociferousness with much disappointment, and then goes to squeamishly see if she knows who it is because she feels like she knows lots of people on campus. Maybe she knows this idiot.
Make me a luck roll.
No.
Okay. No, you've never seen this human being before.
That makes sense because he's probably a commoner. So
I don't know. Those clothes are nice.
is he here on scholarship?
The literal worst. The absolute worst.
Well, even if he was, he's not anymore.
Oh.
I think Ross and Ansel are tied for next. What would you like to do?
Ross, I think, is going to try to look around and see if, like especially up to see if you can see anybody peeking over or if there's anybody around acting suspicious.
Where it came from.
Yeah.
I have a very important question for you, Alex.
Me. Okay, sure.
Did I get any of it on me?
No.
Cool.
Nope.
Okay, then to keep him in the scene. He is frozen.
Yep, that's fair.
There were two responses.
Mhm.
So he's just sort of stuck in place where he is.
Very good. Why don't you make me a spot hidden roll, Ross?
No way. I got a 95.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're looking up, and it's very dark up there. There is one flash of lightning that is very brief and is enough to give you the image of a figure standing up there. It's got antlers. That's all you can make out.
Oh, so this isn't a man-faced rat Alex game. This is an antler monster Alex game.
I was gonna say, you said that so casually, Alex. You're just like, yeah, figure has antlers. It's fine.
It does. Don't worry about it. So that is Ross's turn. That is what he has seen. And finally, Xavier, what are you up to?
I think Xavier is turning back to the silver snare and pounding on the door and calling for help.
Okay. The door opens after a moment, enough to give you guys a little more poking around time or doing stuff time if you want to. But yeah, the bartender he's already heard the scream and was sort of responding to that, and then heard the pounding on the door. So it's mostly just like taking time to unlock all of the various bolts and things that will get him outside. But is there anything else anyone wants to do while that is going on?
Can I start investigating the body?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a spot hidden roll.
I think Sally would start mumbling to themselves about all of the whatever they had for forensics at that point, but textbooks and notes and things, and pulls out gloves out of their messenger bag.
Prepare.
I got a 69.
Nice.
Nice.
And that, as we know, is a critical success. So you got your gloves on, you're rifling through, and you notice 3 things. I'm giving you every clue that is on this body. 1, this person did not die from a fall.
Okay.
This person has had their heart ripped out first, presumably because no one here ripped out a heart. 2, this person has identification on them. This person's name is Terrence Southbridge.
No.
3,
No.
this person, in their pocket, bloodstained, is an invitation that is quite familiar to you. It says you are cordially invited to an initiation of the Order of Our Lady of the Harvest, which is an invitation that every single one of you received this very morning.
I think Sally, as they were investigating in body and like kind of throwing stuff out, would just be like almost yelling out, just like factually exactly how you listed it. Like, nope, doesn't look like fall damage. Like, and kind of just starts like not looking, but like handing things to people, like trying to hand things to people behind them, and then like not paying attention to see if anybody is taking it, and just like dropping it on the ground. And like, okay, I did Terrence Southbridge. Yeah, I don't know if we need that. And like just starts like pulls out tweezers. Starts.
What was the name?
Terrence Bridge South something. I don't know.
Southbridge.
Yeah, yes. The South Bridge, which I don't know where it comes from. It was the last name.
Probably the bridge to the south, if I had to guess.
Right? Yeah, that's a good guess.
Can we go home, please? It's going to rain and it feels disgusting here.
You just want to leave the body here. Anybody could find it.
Yeah, so.
I mean, are one of you claiming him?
No, but we could find somebody to take care of it. Do something with it.
He's dead. I don't... What? What do
And,
you
like,
want me to do with it?
Very dead, because no heart either. I mean, that's just gone. It's just organs in here, minus a heart.
Someone dies in front of you. You can't just leave them there on the street.
It's not as though I can help him.
You could do something, though.
I could go back to my room and use the telephone that my parents spent lots of money having installed to call someone and tell them, hey, could you please go over to that church with the spooky streetlight and get the body down, please?
That's right, you have a telephone.
I mean, you know, it's you'll all have them in a few years, I'm sure.
At this point, the bartender has managed to unlock the door, sees what's going on, and promptly faints.
You see?
Xavier
can't
just
help, then
walks in.
How can we help?
Well, he doesn't have the heart, that's for sure.
Wait, who's missing? There's a heart missing?
Yeah, Terrence Bridge South. Man.
I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna make a call.
All right. So we will call the police. We will make sure that someone will come and take care of this body. There is like a small country police force that will, send out whatever person got the short end of the stick and deal with it.
Does the invitation have any kind of like emblem or anything on it?
Just the symbol of the order.
Which is what, Alex?
What's that look like?
It's a sheaf of wheat.
Mm.
Mm.
No horns?
No antlers? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. So hey, Alex.
Yeah.
What would you say would be a role to not have panic attack?
We can call that a POW roll.
Pow roll. Pow. Okay. Nice. I got 34 out of 70.
Okay. I'm sure that you have some
Mm-hmm.
sort of mechanisms and tools that you have developed over your life to deal with these situations. Whether or not they keep you functional is one thing, but in the moment, they are they do the trick, and so you're able to keep it together long enough that you can remove yourself from this situation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have fully compartmentalized that. That's back there now. Might as well not even be there. Like, he's not having a great time, but he is not just comatose standing in one spot. So I think after looking at the body, seeing that that's very dead, his name is Southbridge, not Bridge South. Should be quite simple. And he's going to go back into the bar, just to sort of make sure everything is taken care of. We've called the police.
I've called the police, and Xavier is, given that the bartender has fainted, he is definitely pouring a few glasses of whiskey for anyone who happens to come in.
Very well.
And he pushes one to Ansel and then asks, "Are you okay? I mean, as okay as anyone could be?"
I believe that he was flirting with me, so it is upsetting that he is now dead.
Oh, Ansel, that's heartbreaking.
So much so he no longer has a heart, apparently. I'm gonna help the barkeep up. just gonna put him in a bench.
We'll just put him somewhere. I don't know how sticky you want that somewhere to be.
Well, it's honestly like I'm not that strong, but I'm strong enough to go wherever the closest is. I don't know how long this will last, but I would like to go home.
Yes, I think for the sake of plot and moving us all along, unless there's anything anyone else wants to do, we will have our shots, and then we will, the police come, they take the body, they give you all a quick interview. They decide that you probably didn't murder this person. And they will give you a lift back up to campus because it's a little bit of a hike otherwise. So the next morning, Mariah, I assume you get the newspaper or something along those lines. Your father probably has it delivered at the very least.
He expects me to read every single portion of this paper, like I have the time.
Anybody else newspaper readers? Okay.
God,
So there.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a
What
scene
else is there
of,
to do in 1920s England?
right.
Right?
Yeah. There's a scene of newspapers hitting your doorsteps in your rooms, on the little mats. And the headline is Third Student Murder. And there's a picture of the body with like a sheet over it, in that very sensationalized style. And a brief description of the murder says that Terrence Southbridge, a student at Bolingbroke University, fell from the steeple of the local church. He is the third student to have died, the first being Arthur Northgate, and the second being Georgina Westmoreland, who were also found in strange circumstances. So we have a day, because tonight is the initiation that you are all supposed to go to for the Order of Our Lady of the Harvest. Again, this is a very prestigious society organization. It's not official, but it's one of those where if you get in, you are pretty much set for life unless you do something truly, truly atrocious. And even then, you're probably still fine. So being invited into the society is a big deal for all of you for your various reasons. But you have a day. They've canceled classes due to the murder because respect. So you have some time before you are supposed to meet at Blackwell Hall at 7:00 sharp this evening. So do we just want to do what a quick day looks like? What you guys are up to, who you're chatting with?
Yeah.
Take it away, Ansel.
I think that Ansel was very much so looking forward to having classes to distract himself from the trauma that was the night before. And so since he doesn't have those, I think he's going into research mode.
Okay.
As much as he can, because otherwise he'd just be in his room, and that's not healthy for anybody involved. So I think he wants to try and either figure out some information about the order, or I guess get his hands on, student records, because we have north, south, west, which means we only have east left. So
I see what you're saying.
Mhm.
Which route do you want to go? Because you know that student records, that's going to be a basically all-day battle. As would, I mean, you could probably get very superficial information about the order in a matter of an hour or two, but like a
Mhm.
deep dive is also probably going to take the better part of the day. So
It's
which would
true.
you prefer to focus on?
The order is
Okay.
likely to involve less people, for being all the way honest. So, and he'd be able probably to check the library.
Yep. So I will have a library use roll from you.
Absolutely. I put
Well,
into this.
yeah. While we're doing that, does anyone else have any other things that they would like to do?
I would call Stephanie and find out what the fuck happened last night.
Stephanie answers her phone and proceeds to tell you how you and the four other people that you were with just started dancing. And did not stop. And like they tried to remove you from the dance floor, you would not go, you would not listen.
Yes, but how hard did you try?
Uh, you hit me very hard. My nose is broken.
What? I couldn't possibly. In finishing school, I was ranked the one with the most likely to be bird-boned.
Well, your knuckles are very hard. And you look down, and there is, like, you realize that you do, in fact, have, like, some marks on your fist.
I apologize for having less than a temperate manner then with you. No one ironed my newspaper for me this morning, so I figured you must be upset or cross or something.
I was at the doctor.
Oh, because of your nose?
Yeah.
Send me the bill.
Okay. Thank you.
Will I see you tonight? Are you going to be my +1 to this event?
Oh, to the initiation.
Yes.
Yes, I also got the invitation, so I'll be there.
You got an invitation?
I think at that point there is a loud clattering and banging because Mittens, your cat, has knocked your telephone off its post or its perch on the table and is standing there looking pointedly at its empty food bowl because no one has fed him yet this morning.
Stephanie is not coming, but I can assist you. Thank you for saving me from the embarrassment, my sweet angel.
There's just like a cat rub on your side and then a definite like batting like yes, but I'm hungry.
I try to like figure out how to put this food in the dish. I'm pretty sure I just take a scoop of the stuff and throw it in a bowl, and I try really hard to make sure that it's the right amount.
Okay. It's absolutely too much, and Mittens is very pleased by this. So are you just being distraught for the rest of the day?
Yes, I think you probably see like a self-care montage where Mariah has like a mask and cucumbers on and is like petting Mittens, who's one of those fancy long-haired Dr. Evil cats. Not Dr. Evil. You know the guy from Inspector Gadget?
Yes.
That kind of situation. So yeah, I think that's what you see is just like her like reading like a little fancy novel that has like embroidery on the outside, doing some cross stitching and things like that, just looking wantonly and sadly out the window, just pining.
Incredible.
Being very what's the word I'm looking for?
Pathetic.
He's a little pathetic today.
Amazing. Ansel, what'd you get on your library use roll?
I got a 10 out of 60.
Very good. So you do a deep dive into the standard texts. Then you find the footnotes and you go into those, and then you find those footnotes and sort of veiled citations, and you start piling up your books and going through. And to the best of your understanding, what you learn about the order is that it was founded about 200 years ago. 250 years ago during the reign of Charles II. It was ostensibly a Protestant activist group initially that was working to get Charles overthrown in favor of his Protestant daughter and her husband, William. Once that happened, the sort of top level of the order was very richly rewarded with titles and positions and parliamentary positions. They were sort of favored for election because that's how that worked back then. And from that point, they just immediately amassed a lot of money and influence, and they have continued through the years to like sort of sit back and pull strings, making sure that governments fall when they need to, that the appropriate people are in positions that are needed. They were the ones who were like, yeah, we're ending this war with the Americans because it's getting a little rough. They were the ones who were like, yeah, we're going to do what we can about Napoleon, but also let's get some of our friends out. Just like always in the, not behind the curtain, like they're very active and they're not hiding it, but it's like you have to really look to see the sort of tapestry of it all. And the tapestry is that they are rulers. Like they are rulers. That is what it amounts to. They're in the army, they're in the government, they're in the navy. They run the school. Like it's just their web is broad, and it's because they just have these people that they somehow just maneuver into the right place at the right time, and they seem to know right when that person is needed. That's the general impression you get.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
But that will take you to, I assume you're not much of an eater, so if you're working through breakfast, lunch,
Easily. Yeah.
yeah,
Especially when he's found a hyper focus. It's like, food, what is that? I don't understand.
Yep. So there's just going to be a montage of like book stacks shifting as you move through them, and like the light changing in the library until it's getting to be very dusky. Sundown time for you to
go. Yeah.
Yep. Anyone else have anything they would like to take care of?
I think in like direct contrast to Mariah, Ross is like up with the sun and just like he like immediately heads downtown, and he gets paid a very small amount of money to like unload boxes off of trucks, and kind of just like goes from job to job basically for pretty much the entire day until he is exhausted and making his way back uphill towards campus, sweaty and tired.
All right. I will say there is talk of nothing in town but that kid that fell off the church. That is all anyone wants to talk about. And there are a lot of conspiracies spinning around this.
Any good ones?
No.
Okay.
No, just the usual garbage. But it is the talk of the town, and there are people who are connecting it to the other murders, obviously. And the people in town don't necessarily seem nervous because it's students that are getting killed, but they're still a little bit like, that might be bad if they like shut the school down, then we're basically out of the job. So
do I overhear anything about the other two deaths?
Make a luck roll.
39 under 60.
Okay. So you heard there was one person who works at the warehouse where one of the students was found, Georgina. It's in like a sort of more industrial part of the city or the town. And this person, although they have no citation to give, and it's like, I heard it from a friend who heard it from her husband, who heard it from his brother. Apparently there was something ritualistic about the way the body was found. They say missing a tongue, but the police or the newspapers never said anything about that.
Weird. Okay.
All right. Jen, did you have something for Sally to investigate?
I feel like Sally would be bright and freaking early and like probably still in their investigative clothes from the night before, not wanting to disturb anything that they could get off of this outfit in case it happens again. And they climb in through Peggy's window and they're like, there's been another one! Get
Peggy,
up, let's go!
Peggy, with the newspaper, like, puts it down, face eager, like, I heard!
His name is Terrence Southbridge, and then like starts looking through the notes. Southbridge. Anyway, I found I heard where they were saying, so we should just go. See.
Peggy actually like throws aside this like curtain that's been covering a wall, and it's just like full-on conspiracy board. There's a map of the town.
Yes.
There are
exactly
pins and strings everywhere. And the first victim, Arthur Northgate, was found in a field north of campus.
Mhm.
Georgina Westmoreland, the second victim, was found in a warehouse west of campus. Terrence Southbridge was found in the town south of campus. And so, like, she sticks another pin in, ties the strings, and looks back at it, and is like, I don't see any connections.
I don't either. But there might be something. There might be something in Terrence's room that may lead us to
Are we allowed to go in?
what there could.
Are we allowed to go in there?
Peggy, ask questions later. If
Oh,
we don't
right.
know, we don't know. You know, I accidentally fell in the window because you threw me into it. What are they gonna do?
You're right. Okay, am I actually gonna need to throw you in the window?
I mean, we're gonna try to open it first, but yeah, if that doesn't work, then clearly, you know, we'll assume. I'll just hunch, and then you can and it'll be fine, and we will, and
we'll have time to get back for the initiation.
yeah, just keep watch.
Okay, great.
Keep watch, like, bring your watch too.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I'm gonna write that down.
Got her pocket watch. She's like, always ready. So you guys are going to head to Terrence's rooms in his dorm. Okay.
Yes.
No one seems to be doing anything at them. It's like a ground floor, so you can either go in through the window, you can try the door, it's up to you.
I would like to be over dramatic and just go in the window.
Okay, the window opens.
Perfect.
So
also awkward.
Yeah.
Because Sally was really hoping to be thrown through it, but that's okay. Fine.
Well,
we can save that for another day.
Can't always get what we want. So Peggy is standing watch outside, and you sort of tumble into this dorm room, which is like, they're all basically the same. You've seen one, you've seen all of them. But Terrence's is like a human being never lived here. It is neat. There is not a speck of dust. All of the clothes are like folded up perfectly, as though someone has taken a ruler and made sure that everything is just so. Books are arranged by height and in color groups. Like, it's all very, very orderly, and you get the sense that this person really didn't live all that much outside of their academics. There is nothing personal about the room whatsoever.
Sally kind of looks around, thinks to themselves, well, maybe it's not such a bad thing that they, this doesn't look like a room of a person that should, okay, and like just starts like kind of like pulling stuff out. Well, they're not gonna mind now if I make it a little bit of a mess, and start like rummaging through stuff, looking through any desks, just throwing papers everywhere. Not
immediate haunting, immediate possession, haunting you.
So like, you go through the notebooks, they're all incredibly neat. Just like zero, like he's literally written down verbatim whatever the lecturer was saying. But there is otherwise nothing to indicate anything about this human being. It's almost bizarre.
And then Sally's going to take out their notebook and just write down potentially replaced by robots from the future, and shut their notebook and put it in their messenger bag, and climb out back the window and just look at Peggy and go, clean as a whistle, nothing in there.
You want to go get lunch?
Yeah, I could use some food.
Great.
Yeah.
So lunch with Peggy is a several-hour affair. Peggy, very, very chatty, and you guys go to your favorite local cafe, and lunch turns into dinner, turns into
where I order black coffee.
Yeah. Both gonna be fucking jazzed for tonight, I'll say that much. Well, then we will say, Xavier, is there anything you would like to do?
So I'm going to give you two options, Alex. and I would be
I get
curious
options?
to see if you have a preference for which path I follow. Xavier's going to do one of two things. He's going to try to track down Elias and check in and make sure everything is okay, or he's going to go home to visit his family.
Your family is not at home, and you know that.
Then I'm going to check in on Elias.
All right. You find Elias in his own dorm room. Elias, famously messy. There are books and things everywhere. All of the various notes for the play that you all are working on, which I think we decided was Julius Caesar.
Yep.
So you knock, and you hear a sort of grunt that you know means enter. And you come in, and he's just sort of in mostly the clothes that he was in last night. Disheveled, clearly hasn't put himself together. His, like, you walk in, and his face goes from neutral to quite stern, and you hear him say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Whoa. Elias, calm down.
Me calm down.
Yes, you calm down.
1 minute we're making out in the hallway, and the next minute you won't even talk to me. You're just dancing with some other guy. What are you doing? What is wrong with you?
Things got really strange last night.
Yeah, I know. You heard that someone else died, right?
Yeah, I was there.
What?
Yeah, he fell off the church right in front of us.
Oh, God. Was there a lot of blood?
I didn't see. I probably.
Okay.
Look, I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Elias, I don't remember what happened last night. The last thing I remember is the two of us in the hallway. Everything after that is a blur.
Oh, and you don't remember going over to that very uptight, cute guy and dancing with him?
Wait, what?
Yeah, and he describes Ansel down to a T.
Elias, you know that's my sweet mate.
Yeah? I thought you guys were getting a little close.
Absolutely not. He is not my type.
If you say so. Certainly seemed like your type last night.
Elias, you know that you are my type.
He does this sort of like dramatic lean back. Is like, moi?
Would you like me to remind you why you're my type?
Yes. And he like clears all of his notes off the bed, and we'll just fade to black on that, because that's all we'll need to do for... I think that's all you'll probably need to do until...
Oh, yeah.
It's initiation time, so... Okay. Good day, everybody. We made some progress on the investigation. We have an initiation to go to. So you all know that you are scheduled to meet at Blackwell Hall, which is indeed named after our good friend Xavier and his family, who are pillars of the institution, at 7 o'clock. And from there, you will be driven to your destination. That is all you know. But Peggy and Stephanie and Elias also have invitations in addition to the 5 of you. So, the card does ask that you dress nicely. It is a formal affair. So, what does everyone look like as we arrive at Blackwell Hall?
I think Mariah's hair is in the same situation because that's the one thing she knows how to do. And she's wearing some kind of lacy knee-high socks and a modestly kind of heeled, like Oxford, like a loafer situation. And she has on like a skirt that is a respectable length, if not slightly scandalous. And then a jacket that goes down a little bit long too, to give that like long and lean kind of effect. and then a ruffly blouse underneath with like a little pin at the neck. That's the school crest.
I'm glad to see Mariah's making the effort.
Take it seriously.
I appreciate it.
I think Ross is dressed almost identically to how he was the night before, except like the sleeves are like not rolled up, his pants are not rolled up, his shirt is buttoned all the way up to the collar, his hair's not in a ponytail, it's kind of like swept like to one side and behind his ears, and I think he's put on a tweed coat over that.
Very classy. Love to see it. Xavier.
Xavier is dressed in a 3-piece suit. It is the nicest item that he owns, and I would imagine that his family had it tailored for him specifically. So he is wearing the nicest articles of clothing that he has.
Very nice. Sally.
Sally, from the waist up, looks like they're wearing the exact same outfit they were wearing the night before, because they have 3 sweater turtlenecks, 1 short sleeve, 1 long sleeve, and 1 that's a dress. And so they're wearing the dress version of their turtleneck with black leggings underneath it, which is basically what they wear every day anyway.
Fantastic. Ansel, how you doing, buddy?
So Ansel only has a few precious items. This suit, 3-piece, of course, as well, is one of them. It is well tailored. It is pressed. Like, the lines on this suit are crisp. Like, it is clear he has done everything within his power to make sure that this looks like it is brand spanking new. There are cuffs, like cufflinks, that match with the aesthetic, but definitely look a good bit older, like he got them from someone. And he will occasionally rub them sort of nervously as he does so. The frames are gold for the glasses today to match with the aesthetic, which is this rich navy blue with gold, white, and black accents.
Amazing. So just to telegraph what we're going to do, we're going to get to the initiation, and then we're going to take a little break, and then we will do the initiation. That's good with everyone. All right. So there are 2 cars waiting for you at Blackwell Hall, and Blackwell Hall is that like neo university brick building type. You've seen it on every liberal arts campus and everywhere. 4 of you go in one car, 4 of you go in another car. There are 2 chauffeurs, and they are very business. They take your invitations and then put you in the car. As you drive, they take you off of campus through the village, and you're sort of driving, you think north, based on the sunset. And they turn off into a road that none of you have ever seen before. Even if you've ranged around and like got an idea of the campus and the area around it, this is not on a map. This is not something you've noticed before. And they take you into what immediately turns into very, very dense forests. And it's not like the forest that you would be familiar with. It's not broadly spaced trees with underbrush. This is gnarled and ancient. The trees are stunted and twisted. Their bark is covered in this sort of leprous moss. It feels damp as soon as you cross into this forest, and there's just mist on the ground. You don't really know how the drivers are keeping it on the road, because the road seems bumpy and strange. It twists and turns in unexpected places. And this forest is not on a map that you've seen, and you drive for some time, almost to the point where it is uncomfortable. But after a time, who knows how long? Does anyone have a watch on? I guess is a question.
No, because Peggy is my watch.
Peggy's in the other car.
Yeah.
You're
I
separated.
probably
You're separated.
rude. I would probably have a pocket watch.
Okay. The pocket watch reads that it is 7:02.
No, they can't be right. Look, make sure that it's ticking like it's supposed to.
It is. Have you make me a
No.
sanity roll?
Duh, you son of a bitch.
No? All right. It's going to be another 2 points of sanity loss. Because at one point, you're looking at it, and you see the watch stop,
Mhm.
and then it jumps ahead by 30 seconds. And then the hour hand just sort of like drops down to the 6, and then swings up to the 10. And all of a sudden, the watch face just cracks.
Close. Puts it in the pocket.
So
If
after
you
that
wouldn't-
happens,
Right.
you feel light enter into the cabs again. And you can look out the window and see that you are now in a very broad clearing with a small little quaint English brick manor house. Just like a countryman's estate. Just a nice cozy place in the middle of nowhere. And the cars stop in front of the front door where there is a gravel drive. And there are 4 figures standing outside. They are all dressed very nicely in long, dark academic robes, suits and ties, tweed, of course. One individual is shorter and wearing a very plain dress. But all of you recognize at least one of these people. And as you step out, the cars swiftly leave without a word. And Xavier, you, of course, notice and recognize your father, Theodore Blackwell, who is part of the order, and you know that. Mariah, you see your father, still in his military uniform, in fact, but wearing the academic robes. Sally, you recognize your grandmother standing there. She's got a little mischievous smile on her face. And Ansel, you recognize one of your fathers.
No.
Yes. Which one is it? It's Gordon. No, Roz. I mean, you recognize General Smoke.
Sure.
And as they, the cars pull away, Theodore Blackwell, who looks just like an older version of his son, Xavier, steps forward and says, "Welcome. Welcome to the lodge. We are very happy to have you here. I know you're probably nervous. Sorry we couldn't tell you more about what's about to happen." And he looks almost sympathetically at Xavier, which is odd, because your father is usually a pretty aloof man. He says, "But if you'll just follow me around the back." And the other 3 sort of gesture.
Is the path paved?
It is.
And follow. Yeah, not gonna come all this way and then stop.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, Alex, could I roll a psychology roll on my dad?
Sure, go for it.
I'm gonna spend luck on that because I rolled a 44 over 40.
Okay. So with a success, your father is being performative. This is part of the act, to be welcoming and generous. That's all. Just a facade.
Mm.
So we'll go around the back. And it's weird because when you were looking at the front of the house, it looked like whatever the forest was in the distance. But as you round towards the back of the house, there's a very narrow gravel path along the back, about 15 feet of border garden, and then the forest. Like, it's very close. And it's very dark and misty, and it's still these like twisted, weird trees. And you can see that painted on the ground there are 8 white circles about 3 feet in diameter, just large enough for you to stand within. And all of them, the 4 who are there, gesture you to the circles.
Are we missing a few folks?
There are 8 of you, and there are 8 circles.
Right.
Mariah tries to have chill and get into the first
Okay.
circle.
Sally is so excited. Frolics to their circle.
Fantastic.
There's no frolicking. No frolicking.
Incredible.
Here. We're just getting in a circle. I'm trying my best not to look back at my dad.
You definitely feel eyes on you.
He's trying and failing, but yeah, he's...
So they all stand against the back of the house facing the forest, and they indicate that you take a position facing them. And Blackwell, again, kind warmth in his voice, says, "We are very proud to have you here. You are the best of the best that we could find at the university this year. Welcome to your initiation. For those of you that survive, this is going to be a wondrous thing." He steps back.
Father, what does that mean?
You get a look that says no words. And then General Smoke steps forward, and he is a very rigid military man. And there is zero kindness in his voice. And he says, "We have spent the last year watching all of you. You have been judged acceptable. Now you will be tested." He steps back. And then Gordon steps forward. And he says, "You are going to remain here until dawn. Take off your shoes."
Okay. Just
Mariah looks around wildly at the general.
What exactly is about to happen? Because I didn't come all this way just to play your games.
This is not a game. Remember that.
Then tell me what it is.
This is a leap of faith
In what?
in yourself. Take off your shoes. And your
And if
coat.
we don't?
then we will not let you in. You will walk home.
Robert, Robert, just take your shoes off. My shoes are quite expensive. I'd rather not. But my father looks very serious, and I'm familiar with his face, and he's not fudging around. So just take them off. Just take them. It's fine. Look, I'm putting mine right here, and we're going to be fine. Please, just do it, please.
You don't know what's about to happen, do you?
Is something good? Probably.
They're going to leave us here. And whatever is going to happen tonight, it's going to be a lot scarier than your father.
Yes, but I mean, aren't you from the front lines? Wouldn't you like some war person who's very tough? I don't think I'd have to worry with the likes of you around. I mean, everyone else seems, well, they seem very tough too. And I point over at Sally in a different way, but anyway, we surely someone
Sally's
is
the toughest
crafty.
of the bunch.
Please, just don't embarrass him. He's already taken quite a leap for you.
Ross will take his shoes off, but he is, I think, just sort of like glaring, like just maintaining stony eye contact with the general the whole time.
It is being met, and he's not faltering in the least.
Sally writes down this interaction.
What does it say?
Ross doesn't want to take off shoes, but weirdly stares at other man.
Fair.
It's correct.
on a
It's all
shirt.
correct.
I think Ansel is going to look at Gordon.
Gordon has a look in his eye that it's expectant. It's very much this is what I want for you.
I think in Haitian Creole, Ansel will ask him, will this make you proud?
Yes.
Steels himself, takes off shoes and socks.
Yes, socks are coming off next, and coat.
Like he's gonna get down to like shirt. Like even the vest comes off.
Xavier, are you shoeless at this point?
Yes, Xavier followed that instruction immediately.
Good lad. So Gordon then looks at the rest of you, or looks at all of you, and says, "We'll be here till dawn. You will not move from this spot. You will not sit. You will not kneel. And we will be watching you." And then the final figure, Sally's grandmother, gives Sally a little wink and a little smile and says, "And don't look back." And then they all turn and leave. And a silence settles onto this backyard as you all stand there and see the sun dip under the tree line. And very quickly, dark comes. And that is where we will stop, and we will take a little break.
Okay.
It's over.
Tapping his name. You were like, "Have you seen a girl?"
Have you seen a girl?
Like
She's here each morning.
We've been
A girl.
friends for 10 years.
Our parents are best friends. You know, the one
The one,
with the hair
the
and the
one girl
glasses.
and the face. She
Got a
has
face.
lips.
Sometimes she wears clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
She's everything I could have hoped for and more.
Mhm.
I'm so happy.
We are going to do terrible things to her and to the rest of you.
Yeah.
Alex, just give us a moment. Alex, just give us a minute.
We've only got 3 sessions, so I have no moments to give.
Okay, I'm ready to be obnoxious.
Excellent.
Love
I don't know
that.
if that's the
Love
right
that.
adjective.
Love
Delightful.
that for you. She's certainly something. We will say that. She's certainly something.
I try to be entertaining.
You succeed. Do or do
thank
not.
you.
There is no try.
Thank you.
So
Don't get me on a Star Wars tangent right now.
okay, I won't. I'm going to get you on a Call of Cthulhu tangent because
Yeah.
the sun has set. And you are all left in your line, standing, staring at this house with the forest behind you. And it had been warm up until today. And now that sort of autumn chill, maybe the first one of this season, has crept in, and the ground is getting cold. And the mist is thickening because it was, it was humid, and as the cold air rushes in, the mist thickens up. And you all are standing in your spot. And at first, it's just silence. There's no sound from the house, although there are lights on. And they are sort of casting illuminations. So it's not dark, per se. Really, you're hearing your own breathing. You're hearing your own heartbeat in your ears. So the first twig snap is startling in the silence. But it's just a twig snapping. I don't think that anything can really move through that forest. It's too tangled, too dense. At least, I hope so. You probably hope so too. Because whatever could survive out in that, it's not pleasant, whatever it is. And so, an hour passes. 2 hours pass. Your knees starting to get sore. Your feet are frigid at this point. They're just blocks of ice. It is incredibly uncomfortable. So when the second twig snaps, you may almost don't hear it because you're so focused on what your body is doing. But that second snap is accompanied by a footfall. It is big. You can almost feel it in the ground. And then you start hearing something. Like deep breaths in large lungs. Mariah, you took the first position, so we'll start with you. You hear a lumbering footstep, a thud into the chilled ground, another twig snap, and then you hear a lighter footfall, and then another. Almost like someone is walking up to you barefoot. Then you hear your mother's voice. And I'm just assuming that your mother is from the South, because I'm going to give her a Southern accent.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, Mariah, what are you doing standing out in the cold?
Mama, you're back. Did Papa tell you I'm here? He said that this was part of the initiation for that the group that he was in university.
Can we all
One of
hear?
your no.
Right. Cool. Cool.
Oh, your father's silly little group.
It's
You're
not
not.
silly, Mama. It's a rite of passage. I'm not supposed to turn around, so please don't insist.
You hear the footsteps get closer, and you feel your mother's hands on your shoulders. She's got strong hands, but comforting. And you hear something, a voice whispering right at the back of your ear. And it says, "Oh, they're going to give you power. I can give you something better. I can give you fame. I can write your name in the stars so they'll never forget you." And you smell your mother's perfume.
Wouldn't you want to do that anyway? I'm your daughter. Everywhere I go, you just follow me around. Last night at the dance, even, everybody was just so excited to hear your song, despite the fact you haven't made a new hit in I don't even know how many years. Why would you offer me this now?
Make me a sanity roll.
Can I push it?
You can't push a sanity roll, but you do have a bonus dice if you want to use it.
Yes, I do. Because that's
Right.
pretty bad. Got a 10.
Okay.
Wait.
So,
Hold on. If I have a 10 and this one is a 0,
that's
is that
10.
a 100 or is that
Nope.
a 10?
Nope. A 100 is 0, 0, and 0.
Okay.
So, you are only going to lose 3 points of sanity as you feel a thumb just like brush across the base of your neck. And she says, "Well, honey, I only want you to be happy." And then the sort of timbre of her voice changes. It's deeper, it's threatening. She says, "Of course, if you don't." And then you feel the hand like take the back of your neck. "Of course, if you don't, not only will they not remember you, you'll be nothing. Just an afterthought. Small, unwanted. You don't want that, do you?"
I'd much prefer your indifference rather than whatever this is.
There's a moment where the hand sort of tightens just ever so slightly, and you feel like you're going to be it. Then it goes away.
Yeah. I apologize, comrades. My mother isn't usually this, zesty.
Unfortunately, no one can hear you. Ansel, you also hear the lumbering of the footsteps.
Mhm.
And you also hear it sort of turn into more human footsteps. And then you don't so much like there's just sort of a dawning understanding. It's the energy of it,
Mhm.
the smell that your father is there. Not Gordon.
No.
Not Gordon's husband. Your father is there. And in Haitian Creole, he says to you, What are you doing here, Ansel?
I was given a chance at a new life. I'm taking it.
Away from me? And his voice is strained, and there is desperation in it, pleading almost. You left me for this?
I didn't leave you. You're dead.
How can you say that? I'm right here. Look at me.
No,
Just
no.
look at me. Just turn
You're
around.
not. You're not here. I can't.
Make me a sanity roll.
Okay. Ooh, 64 under 65. Lord
Okay.
mercy.
We're holding it barely together. That'll be 3 points of sanity loss. And the presence behind you, you feel it get closer. You can feel it's right behind you. And there's a very desperate, please, Ansel. And then you feel something on your hands. It's hot and red. You abandoned me, Ansel.
They made me watch. Um, hands flex, and tries very hard to focus anywhere but on his hands.
You hear the blood dripping off of them, hitting the stone. Just a steady drip, drip. And the voice says, you could come back. You could be with me. Just look at me.
Don't make me look at it again. Don't, please.
The desperation completely leaves the voice, and it becomes cold and manipulative. And it says, I will tell them. I will tell Gordon exactly what a failure you are. Couldn't even protect me.
I'm sorry, Papa.
Am too. And the blood on your hands dries. There's a phantom memory of it, but when you look down again, they are clean.
I think he's going to spend a little while just rubbing his hands.
Yeah. I think we are going to move. So the camera is just sort of panning along you all. And we're just going to quick pan to Peggy, who is standing there next to Sally. And Ansel and Sally, you are closest to Peggy. You're focusing on your own things. But just one moment here. Nope, I need another D10. There we go. So remember when I was talking about 0, 0, and 0?
Oh no! Peggy!
There is a moment, Sally and Ansel, and the others to some extent, where you hear Peggy's breath start coming very quickly. And she's muttering to herself. And you both, out of the corner of your eye, because that's all you can see without turning your head, see Peggy turn. And that is the last thing you see of Peggy, because you hear a scream that is very abruptly cut off by the sound of snapping bones. And then something being dragged along the grass. Sally, we'll move over to you.
Wait, I see and hear all this?
Yes.
Okay.
You hear the loud thundering footstep, and it does not turn into something human. It remains large and monstrous, and you feel something loom up behind you. You can feel its hot breath on your neck, and it smells like blood and death. And it just says, "Where is Grandma?"
I don't think Sally would move. I think Sally would be like in a freeze situation.
Where is Grandma? I'm hungry.
Also, Sally would be calculating in their brain that they just recently saw Grandma.
There's a very lupine intake of breath, snuffling at the back of your head. And then you hear it say, "What big eyes you have. Always watching. So, where is Grandma?" Make me a sanity roll, please.
Okay. $23.
Okay, very good. So you will take 3 points of sanity loss, but you keep staring ahead.
Yeah.
So you get this voice that you hear and the sort of presence behind you, and you feel it sort of shy away or move away just a little bit. And it says, "If not Grandma, you could always come with me. You'll never be alone. Never be lonely."
And I think Sally's composure would break at that point, and they would just start laughing because they love being alone.
Fantastic.
And and they would like kind of like pause and be like, "Wait a minute," and like not look at it, but get very over dramatic and are like, "If it's one thing that Grandma taught me, it's to learn how to love being alone." And like,
The laugh echoes your own. And then it slowly turns into your grandmother's voice. And you hear it say, "I like this one. I like this one a great deal." And then the camera will move over again
I think that's bad.
to Elias. Just roll a dice. Okay. We see Elias, the back of his head sort of quivering and shaking, but nothing happens. And then we pan over to Ross. And you hear the footsteps, but they are precise and military. And you hear General Smoke's voice. And he says, "Still wasting time?" Pathetic.
Go fuck yourself.
There's a pause as you hear a second set of footsteps. And you hear a different voice, your father's voice. Ross, don't let him do this. I'll have you make me a sanity roll.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. 18. I got an 18.
Okay. If that's a success, then you will lose 3 points of sanity.
It is a success.
All right. You hear Smoke say, "You won't even look your father in the face as he dies? What kind of man are you?" Ross, please. Please.
You can't make me look at you this way. This already happened.
It's happening right now, Ross.
I don't need to look to see it. Never stopped seeing it.
You hear the deep sigh of disappointment. And you hear your father say, "Tell your mother," and then there is a loud gunshot. And you feel the blood splatter on the back of your head. Then the voice goes away.
I think Ross, when the gunshot starts to happen and he feels the blood, he just kind of closes his eyes and he just starts muttering math under his breath. He just starts muttering equations.
Okay. Ansel, I'm going to have you make me a listen roll in a moment. Then we will quick go over to Stephanie. Stephanie, fine. She doesn't flinch.
It's cold. It's ice cold, baby. I mean, she's had practice.
She has.
That was a success on hearing it, by the way.
Okay, so you'll hear the math.
Okay.
Maybe an interesting point for you.
Yeah.
Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear footsteps. You hear a rustling along the ground. Sort of serpentine. And you feel a presence sort of start climbing up your back until there is a voice right behind your ear. And it sort of hisses out, "And what wouldst thou?" Power? Fame? Interesting. And then there is a very rapid change in the voice, and it becomes very commanding, and it says, "Speak."
I have no interest in this bargain. I have my orders, and I am going to follow them.
You know your father can't actually give you what you want. I can.
That may be. But I'm not going to disappoint him.
Oh, it's too late for that, Xavier. That bridge is crossed. If you were free of him, truly free of him, think of what you could do. can help you with that.
Perhaps I can do it all on my own.
There's I don't know if snakes can laugh, but there is a snort laugh in snake form. It says, without someone to lean on, you are nothing. You're worse than your father. But there's potential in you, if molded properly.
And what do I need to do? Just look back?
You can start there.
I'm not doing that.
Make me a sanity roll and we'll find out.
That is 43 under 56.
Congratulations, everybody. Good job. That's 3 points of sanity loss for you. But the snake, you feel fangs at your throat. And then they just dissolve away as you keep staring at the wall. Good job overcoming test 1. I'm kidding. There's only one test. Don't worry about it. That's it. That was the.
I'm worried. I'm worried.
I am, though.
Concerned. I think Ansel will start finishing the lines of math. Just like the back and forth equations.
Yeah, I'd like to say that there's a moment where he actually gets stuck, where he's just sort of repeating the same line over and over again. And he's just like, his brows are furrowing. He's like, just saying it over and over again.
Ansel will come in to finish that through line to help keep you going through it.
Yeah, and he still hasn't opened his eyes, but he just like keeps going with it once you interject.
Mm-hmm.
So, the night passes. Cold, painful, but the sun does rise. And as soon as that first little sliver of sun passes the tree line, the 4 that you met in the beginning are back. And their faces are excited. They're happy, like genuinely happy. Maybe to the point where some of you have never seen this kind of happiness in them. Sally, obviously, Grandma is always a mischievous little minx, so like she's got a big old smile on her face.
Mischievous little minx, yeah.
They have blankets, they have coffee or tea that's warm, and they take you inside. There's a fire going. It's warm. It's comforting. You know, you're able to sit down after hours of standing out on these cold, kind of pointy stones. And it's Sally's grandma who speaks and says, I thought you had it in you, all of you. Well done.
Thanks, Grandma.
Your children could have died. Your grandchildren,
We had faith in them.
One of us did die.
Yeah, we're not all here.
One is not the worst result we've seen over the years.
How many times have you done this?
They all sort of look at each other. This is how every member of the order has been initiated.
Doesn't answer my question.
Every new class?
Since when?
Gordon nods.
Once a year for how long?
200 years ago it started.
250, actually.
Sorry. Well, 250.
Some years, no one dies.
In some years, everyone dies.
They sort of look over at Sally's grandma, who like kind of looks up. She's like, I think that only happened once. That year. You're here now, and that's what matters. Don't let Peggy's, like they had to remember the name. Don't let Peggy's sacrifice be for nothing, nor the sacrifice of your 3 colleagues who never made it to this point.
There weren't
Murders.
4?
Arthur, Georgiana, Terrence.
Is that usual?
I think it's best we should talk, but first, warm yourselves up.
Like, the ritual is not complete.
Your ritual is. You are full members of the Order now, with all the privileges and responsibilities that entails.
Mariah kind of like on wobbly legs approaches her dad and like goes in for a hug and then like shakes it off and presents a hand for a handshake.
He actually hugs you.
Oh.
Like he pulls you in, and he's a big bear of a man, and just like, this is the most affectionate you've ever seen him in your life.
Papa, Mama was here and she was
She wasn't.
Oh. Are you sure?
That thing was not your mother.
All right. And I think at that she kind of just shakes her head, and the furrowed brow that she's had and like the silent tears she's been crying like since that interaction, she has just kind of been slightly catatonic. She pops her shoes back on and just sort of straightens her shoulders. Goes to the fire.
So we'll say you all get warmed. You get your beverages.
Is there a sink somewhere?
Yes, we can show you to a sink so you can get yourself cleaned up if you want.
That's basically where Ansel's gonna be for until they're like, hey, buddy.
Yeah. So they will let you do that. They give you like half an hour, and then they sort of gather you back into this sitting room.
Alex, I do have to ask, does my father look proud of me?
Yes.
All I need to know.
Yes. He's not saying anything, but it's like the first time in your life where you haven't felt like a massive disappointment.
Eek.
Okay, good to know.
To him, yes.
That's rough, buddy.
So they pull you back together in the sitting room, and they say, this has been a hard year. There is another group that we have been dealing with for some time. Somehow we believe that they found our list, and we're slowly offing the people who would be initiated. Pencil, you said that the Order goes back 250 years, and you are right. We go back 250 years under this name. We are much older than that. And this group is also much older than that. And they have been trying to take power from us for a very long time. Normally they aren't as overt. But we're worried that they're up to something.
So what was the old name?
There have been many. You can learn that in time.
What's the name of the other order? At least right now.
They call themselves the Order of St. Giles. Huntsmen. What we would like for you to do is uncover their member list. We know of one of them, and that should be enough for you to get in, or at least begin your investigation.
And then what?
Bring this information to us, and we will deal with it.
How?
There are a number of our members who are well placed in positions of authority. We'll have them quietly arrested.
Of course
Removed.
there are.
That is what this order is about.
Correct.
Amassed wealth, power. This order puts people in place when they're needed, where they're needed.
Right now, you are needed. Here. Now, you'll have questions, I'm sure. But for now, send you home. Go about your lives. Contact you, or you will contact us. You know how. Send us a telegram when you have information. But the man that we need you to look into, the only member of the Order of St. Giles that we know, is Francis Woodbridge, professor of physics here.
Why?
Now, you've had a trying night. We are sorry for what we had to put you through. But take strength from what you learned about yourselves tonight and carry that strength forward. And I think, unless anyone has any pieces they want to add, the camera will pan out of the lodge and we will fade to black on the end of our first episode of Blood of the Harvest.
Oh, yeah. We did it.
You did
Everything's
it. You
good.
survived. You all
It's so
survived.
normal and everything's fine.
Yeah,
and
everything's fine. Everything's totally fine.
Nothing
Straight up.
bad's ever going to happen.
Hey,
Right.
hey, Alex, just casual question. How did Elias seem after all of this?
Elias and Stephanie are weirdly composed.
Don't like that.
Why'd you say weirdly? You could have just said composed.
This is part of the problem.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. They
I'm just
shouldn't be,
saying,
is the
I mean, I
thing.
guess Sally is also weirdly composed. Sally seems fine.
Yeah, but I'm just weird, so.
Sally's
Right.
been weirdly composed now.
Right.
Yeah. Sally was
Sally's
poking
never
a
been
body.
anything else.
Yeah, I'd expect nothing less from Sally.
She saw a body and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna poke it." Like,
Listen,
Yeah,
investigations.
they're weird. They're
Sally
weird.
has read a lot of vampire books.
Yeah.
We got
That
for
just,
Sally.
I have more questions than I have answers with that statement.
Mhm.
Also, Also, like, can we talk about the juice boxes real quick?
Yeah, and the milk and the milk. That is what I am still stuck on.
Because you
No.
said juice box, and I went, literally where? What do you mean?
Yeah, nobody else is going to understand this, but I have a lot of the same questions about Sally that I have about Alex's character in her Curse of Strahd game.
Ernie is fine and normal.
Mhm.
Just a guy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm
Because
positive.
just knowing Sally, I don't think that's
Yeah,
true.
I don't believe that. I don't believe you.
Just a normal old man is who
No.
Ernie is.
Oh, absolutely not. Now I know you bullshit. No. Mm-mm.
Also, I would like
Yeah.
to point out that we made it through this entire episode with 0 rats. So
It's
No.
true. 0 rats and 0 rats with man faces. So
But we
Correct.
did get antlers.
Yeah, we did get an
There
answer.
were
I
answers.
feel like that's about the same though.
Yeah,
And I got a
think
snake,
that's- I don't
so
think
there's
that's
that
the
too.
flex.
It's on
Yeah.
Alex.
It is.
It's on the
No,
Alex
it
bingo
is
card.
not. It is not.
frowning.
Like I didn't do this other horrible thing, but I did this horrible thing instead.
Like I don't, you know.
No faces were bitten. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Do we want to do outros?
Sure, let's do that.
Plug all the things that you want to talk about.
Oh, it's me. Hi, I'm Alex. I was the keeper of arcane lore. I'm Mightiest Finn on Twitter. Things that I have coming up. I'll be at table 2 of this as a player in the find out phase of the game, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Maybe.
This is the fuck around phase. I will be on the find out phase too. What else? After that, Cold Iron here on this very channel, our Changeling the Lost game, which is set in an alternate universe where the Fairy have taken over the Soviet Union and its various institutions. There's a murder. It's 4 monsters and Will, and it's going to be a fun time. 4 Meow Meows and Will, if you would
Sweet
prefer that.
baby angels.
What else? I'm going to be in a Girls Run This World limited series, playing literally the worst person I've ever made. He's terrible. I loathe him, and I love him. Watch out for Moritz. He is a time. Then what else? I'm going to be doing some other things with Crossroads Games that isn't announced. I'm going to be doing some things with Love Windscraft, which isn't announced, but I'm excited for. And I think that's what I got to say for the time being. So check me out on Twitter for those things as they get unredacted. Yeah.
It's me. I was writing down all of the things so I wouldn't forget them. I'm sorry. I've written 3 of the 4 things down, and now I'm concerned that the 4th thing is never going to make it out of my mouth. No! I know the 4th thing, and there's actually a 5th thing. Okay, so the 4th thing, I'm just going to tell you now, since I'm thinking of it, and it's not going to leave my brain just because I'm talking about it like this right now. I have been Candace. You can find me at that Candace girl on Twitter and at Candace the Magnificent everywhere else. I will be back streaming some ukulele covers of Pride songs soon. I've been working hard. And maybe some Jedi Fallen Order, because I absolutely did that for May the 4th and then never again. So I gotta get back into it. Bad at streaming. It's fine. You can find me crap, now I'm not going to remember what it is. Okay, you can find me. You can find me over for the rest of the month, I will say. You can find me playing Dragonbane over at Pink City's Twitch channel. You can find me every Monday over at Home Bodies and Homebrews playing Trusted and Fates, which is a Kids on Brooms game. You can find me this Friday doing a Juneteenth celebratory D&D game called Portals of Power over on That Gamer Shares channel. You can find me not this Saturday, but the following Saturday with a few people at this table doing some Flabbergasted over at Chaotic Wholesome Presents.
I totally forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
It's totally okay. That's what I'm here for. And then there's one more thing. I am also, this has not, so 2 of these things have not been announced, so let's just keep it between us. You can also find me over at Just the Humans channel playtesting a game called Uncaged, which is a Nick Cage game. And that'll be later this month.
Incredible.
Yes!
Incredible.
That's it. Thank you.
Hey, I am JD. Tonight I have been Xavier. I do way too many things, most of them with this channel, so we'll just run through the games that I'm currently in. I can quickly say Season of Secrets and Shadows, Season 1, is hitting the finale this Friday. So we are going to take like a 2-month hiatus or so from that game before we come back in the fall. I am also with Class Reunion and Academy H. I am also with Thy Kingdom Come, which we run every other Friday, but not this one. And I'm usually running Redacted on Thursday, every other Thursday. I will also be in Cold Iron when that starts. And I will be running the second table of Shadows Between the Stacks when that kicks off in July. I can also be found with Tales from the Table Studios just about every Monday night for SCP, A Crumbling Foundation. And I am currently just about finishing up the demo play of Locus with RPGs Uncovered, which will be coming back this Saturday. And you can see me play the worst human being. I hate you all, but I do love you. The worst human being I've ever created. And then last but not least, I think that's all. I will be with Exquisite Corpse for their Oops All Trans table on Friday the 23rd, where we will be playing Fist, and I will be playing a character whose traits are Puppet Master and Pathetic, which effectively cancel them out, and it's going to be an absolute mess as I try to give people orders and then just collapse in tears on the ground.
Incredible.
JD also edits all the videos for YouTube, and if you want to catch up on a Season of Secrets and Shadows before the last episode, it's all up there now. You can go check it out. Last episode this Friday.
Oh, it's my turn now. Okay.
It's your turn.
Hi, I'm Jen/Youngles, and I'm really bad at these, but I've been playing Sally. You think I would be better since I've been doing this for a while, but it's okay. You can find me on Tuesday nights as Wendy, the lovable mixed heart of the coterie, who is going through some things this season. And over at Bad House, and I have like 6 or 7 other things happening in July at some point that some I don't know. I never know which ones I can talk about, what I can't talk about, and what's being announced and what isn't. And then I'm always like, I'm gonna be the Tom Holland that like just spoils everything before it's supposed to be, and so I just get scared and I don't say anything. So follow me on Twitter, because that's where things will be announced as they're allowed to, and then I won't make anybody upset. Okay, thanks.
Mood. Huge mood.
Hello, it me. I'm Q. I was playing Ansel Fairridge this evening. Perfectly normal boy, definitely not full of anxiety about stickwids. You can find me on the internet at midnight_inc. That is INQ. Q is my name, and I'm sure you get it. I'm doing things out here, on these internet streets. We're not doing Redacted tomorrow. I should get a break on that one. That's good. But I will be here for the finale of Season of Secrets and Shadows. I am very excited. I'm also very nervous. My boy's still in his darkest self. It's fine. Let's see. I will be back here on Wednesday. Right? Yes. We are back with the Successful States of Rega on Tales from the Table Studios. That's very exciting. That's every other Thursday. And then what else do I have? Exquisite Corpse. At some point, I will be in the Oops All Gay table for Pride. I don't know what day that's going to happen. No idea. But I know the 24th, Flabbergasted with Candace. I'm very excited. The game, it just looks so fun and colorful and bright. I'm doing Cold Iron, where we be 4 sweet baby angels.
Baby angels.
Baby angels and Will. It's
Yes.
fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah, and then we've got some more projects coming up in the future, but that's for a not right now thing.
And hi, hello, my name is Will. Hi, I am one of the GMs and the organizers here at Life in the Apocalypse. This is normally where you can find me doing stuff, and I do a lot of it. We're no redacted, no Thy Kingdom Come, check out A Season of Secrets and Shadows. And to come back Tuesday. Actually, I think come back this Sunday. I think Veilbreakers is back. I think we're going to have Veilbreakers. It's a 5e game about a group of heroes who died in the first session trying to save the world and then came back and have been trying not to fuck it up a second time. It's very good. You should check it out. It's been on hiatus for a very long time, but we're excited to have it back up and running. Tuesday, class reunion will be happening. It's our 5e D&D game about a group of high school students from Ohio who have been trapped in a fantasy world for 10 years. It's very gay. It's very good. It's very fun. Wednesday, we're doing this again. Check it out. And then I think that is it, really. Season of Secrets and Shadows is done. Otherwise, I'm just on Twitter and stuff sometimes. And Sunday, I just remembered, I will be running one of the Oops All Buys tables at Exquisite Corpse Productions. We're going to be playing Impulse Drive, which is one of my favorite systems of all time. It's sci-fi. We are playing Firefly. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all the things and the stuff, and I think that is going to do it for us tonight. So I'll just go ahead and let you know that if you are not already following us on social media, feel free to go ahead and do that. We do a lot of things. This is how you can keep up with them. Maybe or not. Maybe it won't post the link. That's fine. There it is. Just delayed. Cool. Or you can join the Discord community, which is a great place full of great people. We would love to have you be a part of it for so long as any of these websites exist, which is looking like less and less of a thing every day. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? What a time to be alive, kind of. On that note, I think we're done, and we're going to go and hop over to Exquisite Corpse Presents, where a couple of our friends from A Season of Secrets and Shadows and beyond are playing at the Oops All Aces table. So come along with us and say hi and be friendly. There are 2 raid messages in the chat if you want to use them. If you haven't been subscribed to us, you can grab the first one with the has emotes, and if not, just grab the second one with the raccoons. But either way, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what awful things happen to us in the future. There will be plenty of them, I'm sure. And I think that's all the stuff that we have to talk about. So say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.